there, folks. Welcome back to the lab. Well, we have a great end of year project here. This will be the last project of 2025, maybe. So, what we have here, this is a fabulous old CT ham. This is a number 18 driving lamp. Isn't this great? Look at this thing. I've been waiting to work on this thing. I don't know why I've been waiting, but I've been holding off. And what a beauty. I can't wait. Unfortunately, it has layers upon layers of brushed on paint. It looks like silver, might be gold. It's hard to tell. It's really dirty, but all the lenses are intact and everything. It's still got this part here that clips on the side of the probably the side of a canopy of a very old car. I mean, probably before roofs. Isn't that great? That's cool. All right, so we're going to dig into this baby and do some learning because I have not had one of these in my possession. And this is, as you can see, it's all dirty. I haven't played with it. I haven't done nothing with it. It was under a table, and that's kind of like, that's the way I like to go into projects for you and for me. I think it makes interesting content when we kind of learn shit together here. So I haven't even, Googled these things and checked them out. Although I have heard from a number of people that these are quite rare and quite expensive. But I got a good deal on this baby. But, all right, let's check it out. I can't wait to dig in. Let's do it. All right, well, here we go. This is great, man. Let's see. How are we on here? Wow, look at the coats of paint. Holy smokes. Completely enveloping all the threads and everything. Oh. That's interesting. All right. Ooh, look at that tin under there. Oh, this is interesting. So that, okay, that locks. That is supposed to be stationary. Very cool. This wick seems pretty toasty, but let's see. All right, nothing wrong with that, really. Well, it's a little chewy. We'll see if we can get it to go back in. I think I can straighten that up a little bit. Yeah, wow. Holy smokes on the layers of paint. Wow. Let's see what the inside of this very cool little fountain look like here. You know, I bought this thing new like not long ago when it's a piece of crap. All right, yeah. It just looks like it got maybe, a little wet once or twice. Very light surface issue there. I wonder if I can okay, yeah, I can re-anchor that. I can see the solder is on top, so I'll be able to get at it, I think. Yeah, should be all right. Yeah, look at this. Look at that tin under there. That'd be great if that's all under all this shitty freaking paint. I still don't know if that's gold or silver. Maybe it's both. Would not be surprised. All right, so there's a nut. I feel better waiting till I get the paint off to take a look at that nut. I can't tell if that is soldered around there or if that is a nut. I'd like to get this off there to work on it. And it's cool. Look at, you can switch it to put it on the left side or the right side of your buggy or wherever it is. There's some kind of modification there. Somebody put on there. We can get that off. Let's take a look inside of here. Okay, the cone stays right there. Did they paint inside that? They freaking did, man. They painted everything. But I don't know if I want to... Oh, shit, man. Yeah, they did. Why would you do that? This could be some nice tasty tin left there. And how would I get to that? I guess I can't. Oh, so these lenses are on tracks. But of course, they're painted in. Not a whole lot I can do until I get this paint off. That's really inhibiting everything there. But let's explore a little bit here. Okay, so I could re-anchor that little holder there for sure. Cap comes off. Awesome. Brass, I'm sure. Okay, so maybe we can determine what color paint all that shit is. But I want this paint off of there. There's just too much of it, man. There's just way too much. Ooh, that's brass. That's not. That's not. But that is. Okay. Well, it's magnetic, but very lightly. That's weird. That's not. Okay, so that's brass. That's cool. All right. They stopped putting brass on things pretty early. So I'm getting, first I'm exploring here. This is kind of like, a snake sampling stuff with his tongue. He's just trying to see the composition of what this shit is here. And I'm also getting rid of crap that could, it slow down the paint removal process. And I do have a radio going here. There's a football game coming up I want to watch in about an hour. So what I think I wanted to do is come in here. I wanted to come in here and get this going with anticipation. Oh, good. It's all right. So that. Let's hope for that. Oh boy. Freaks me out a little bit though. But I would like to straighten that post out. I am so afraid. I'm taking those tabs off. All right, well, I'm gonna take a risk on that because there's definitely some repairs that need happening under there. Oh man! All right, well, I'm just gonna be super careful. All right, very careful. There we go. Ooh. Wow. Interesting. Interesting how they adapted those tabs. I'll show you here in a minute. I just want to get rid of some of this crap. So it looks like they took like tabs maybe from a different model. You know, cut it, unless somebody replaced this and this was their modification. But it's interesting how they have one of those bent one way, bent the other way. Interesting. Let's see here. There we go. Oh, thank you. All the tabs are there, and I gotta be really careful while working on this thing that I don't fuck up those tabs. Oh, the tabs are intact. That is wonderful. I would hate to have to try to find a way to replace one. Wow. Okay. What's down in there? Oh, that really looks good. Certainly there's no way to get in there at that reflector and stuff, although I could have access if I can get these lenses to pop out. So what I believe you can do is put in different color lenses or block one on one side, you know, to go out the other side. Little tiny pop-out lenses, and they're all intact. That's the coolest thing. Okay. I wonder if I can get this cotter pin out without hurting things. Let's see if I can pull that out. Oh yeah, great. Great. I can get this glass away from things and not injure it. Great. Let's see, is this made up? Okay, it appears to be brass as well, and it's freaking painted. There's a little crack in the brass. And you knew you couldn't make it through without seeing some cracks in the brass. That's brass. All right. Very cool. All right, so that's going paint removal. All right. That. And I can work on this too while paint remover's doing its thing. Get that all back together and cleaned up. Straighten those out a little bit so those little spindles, looks like all the teeth are intact. No problem there. It's a little dirty in there. All right, we'll get that fixed up. Awesome. There's the quick. Okay, so there is how the hell? So it looks like I can't tell. No, it's not. I thought maybe that reflector in the back was also in tracks, but I'm like, how do you get it out? It just has that one screw. I may want to pull that out so we can polish it up nice. Looks to be chrome colored brass. That'd be fun to throw that on the polisher, clean that up. Let me see if I can get that off of there. Here's that cotter fin. All right. So there is our reflector. I love that there's carbon all over it from it being used who knows how long ago. That's so cool. All right, so that can stay here. We'll work on that. Actually, I may want to... Maybe I'll put a little easy off on there and get rid of this carbon and grime. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. I can't tell if that is spray paint or, I mean, this painted on paint on the inside or not. If they had... Really hard to tell. Somebody splattered shit around inside there. It looks like they did. Holy smokes. Well, we'll get this baby all cleaned up. I am dying to get this paint off there and see what is left underneath. Some nice tin. Well protected. All right. Well, I think that's what we're going to do here. There's just lots of fuzz and shit in here. Can I get this out? Yeah, I'm not gonna worry. I'm not gonna worry about that. That can stay right there, nice and small. All right, got to make sure we don't mess with them tabs at all. I would like to get that thing off of there for sure. Well, no more when we get this paint off it. So, let's go do that now. Oh, yeah, wow. Look at all the carbon under there. All right, let's go to paint removal side of things here. And ooh, gotta make absolutely sure I don't lose these little parts. Let's see here. All right. There we go. Safekeeping there. There. Okay. All right, folks, we're gonna go. I'm gonna go put some Easy Off on this, so I'm gonna spray it heavily with Easy Off, and then I will put it in a garbage bag and let it sit a couple of hours. Maybe at halftime of the game, I'll come check on it, see if it needs another application. That thing's freaking cool too, man. That's heavy duty. Heavy duty there, man. Think of the jiggling that thing had to do. You know, it didn't have shocks. You know, I mean, I think it just had leaf springs and wooden tires. All right, folks. That's gonna do it for the check things out segment. We will know a lot more when we get this paint off of here. All right, I'll be back. All right, well, so there was very little paint. Either that or the paint just didn't like sticking to this chrome plated brass. So that cleaned up nice. Very cool. Yeah, look at those cool lines underneath. Neat. All right, so, and it's cleaned up nice. Got all the carbon off there. I'd like to take this over to the polisher. Okay, just give it a very light polish. See what we get there. We want to make sure it doesn't take some of this remaining chrome off. It is brass underneath. Cool. All right. And then I got some little wheels I kind of want to try. These little polishing wheels here. This would be a good application. Try one out. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. And then we'll work on the burner. And, okay. So, I'm going to go over to the polishing wheel, which is on the other side of the bench grinder over here. You can't work on a vintage. You can't polish something vintage without using vintage polishing compounds. Yeah, Sears and Roebuck. Cool. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so let's try out one of these wheels. Actually, while I have this on here, I'm gonna clean up this a little more. And then I'll pinch that thing down, make that more permanent after I make sure that there's nothing I need to get at in there. All right, let me just clean this up a little bit. All right, and then this thing polished up great. I don't want to do any more than that. So, all right, now let's try. All right, let's try. Let's see what happens here. Well, just as I suspected from cheap Amazon bits. I mean, there's shredded. This shit is everywhere. Well, it's better than the fake cotton ones that I've gotten, which make an absolute disaster of a mess. Well, I don't know if that is a proper test or not. We'll play with that again at some point. This is microfiber. Just want to make sure I didn't leave any polish on there. And I see nothing else that needs to be done to this part. Oh, sounds like my football game is starting. Well, look at this beauty. Yeah. Look at that. That's great. Intact lens. Loving it. All right. I'm going to go watch some football and let the paint remover do its thing. We got this straightened out pretty good. All right. I wonder if I have... Oh, I'm sure I got a nice old wick we can plop in there. Well, that's the size we need, unfortunately. This is a really thick wick. I took this out of something else that it barely moved in. There we go. Okay, good. That's kind of nice. And I tried pinching that thing down a little bit. And there. Well, let's find just like that. All right. Oh. Interesting improvised wick I found in my last project. That is wool, a shrunken wool on there, stitched to a cotton wick. And I put that in there with my other stuff because it's a conversation piece. This is out of an old Dietz Pioneer burner. Nice. All right. I'm going to go watch some football. I'll be back. Yeah. Okay, well, we are back. Yeah, look at that. Wow, some nice tin remaining on top of that brass. Awesome. So, they were covering up rust, oxidation with that paint, the many layers of that paint. But I still think that there is some nice metal hiding underneath all this. And I can see there's scratch marks all over from somebody working it over before they painted it to get the big chunks off. That's what it looks like. Almost looks like somebody used a freaking butter knife on some of it. Look at that. Yikes, man. Ugh. Yeah, hopefully I can make that go away. All right, well, I want to get this off of here. Let me see. Gotta make sure I have the proper tool because I do not want to strip that. In fact, while I am looking for my wrenches, I'm going to throw some WD or some Croyle on that. All right, let that sit for a sec while I go find the proper wrench. All right, so let's see. What do we need here? Come on now. What are we looking at here? I don't. Oh, I thought that was a nut. What is that? Okay, well, I've got to rethink of what's going on here. What is that, man? Need my uppy closies. It looks like there's threads on the outside. I thought that was a nut. Let's see. The threads on the outside. Oh, only thing I can think of is that it broke off. That side looks broken. That's what happened. The nut broke off. Oh, that's not coming out of there. Okay, we'll just have to work around that. That is not coming out. Son of a bitch. Probably had a wing nut on it like this. Both sides. Yeah. Okay. We'll just work around that. Not a big deal. Yet. But it is big and bulky. And it's not going anywhere, obviously. Okay. So. Not going to need the tools. All right. So. You can see you got rid of a lot of the carbon and crap. A lot of the tinning, chroming is gone, but steel wool will brighten that right up. But anyway, all right, so no tabs damaged during the removal of paint. But this is some pretty light oxidation. I'm not worried about this looking nice. This is going to look really great. I'm excited. What I should do is put some lube down on these lenses. There we go. I want to be able to get these out of there. Who wouldn't? It's amazing how they're hidden right behind. Yep. There we go. Okay, we'll let that. Okay, we're going to let that work for a while. I'm going to go over to the bench grinder with this and see what is going on. And maybe we'll get this piece fixed up once we get that cleaned out in there. Okay, yeah, I see the spot it needs to be. Okay, cool. So, by the way, I noticed this too when I was getting the paint off. That it's got kind of a little screen there, so there's no sloshing of fuel coming out, and you can't see it, can you? See that down in there? Cool. Okay. Kind of a baffle-like thing. There's no baffle in there. That's interesting. Right. So. Is that brass? Okay. Yeah, that is brass. Ziggy, what are my notifications?
You have one new notification from weather. From weather. U.S. National Weather Service has issued a wind advisory for Hanoi. It'll be in effect from December 29th, 4 a.m. EST until December 30th, 7 p.m.
Jeepers. Okay, so this is brass, but it's still got tinning on it. Okay, we'll clean that up. We'll clean that up. Well, let's steel. We'll do that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, hell, while I'm here. So, it's a bad idea to go watch that football game. It's disappointing. Nice. That's a beautiful thing right there. Great. Awesome. All right. So, let's go clean this up and take a look. Could this be something other than oxidation? We'll find out. Stay tuned for the next episode. Be right back. Yeah, well, boy, that took some grindage, man. Yeah, this is some pesky oxidation. Whew. But things look pretty okay. There's a pinhole or two. I felt a couple drops of water from when I rinsed this thing out after getting the paint off. So it'll need to be sealed, but nothing major. Little tiny pinholes, and this is a solder line here, so weak point. All right, so let's get this fixed up and fix this dented thing here. Clean the inside of that, and then we'll get this thing soldered back into place. Let's do that. Yeah, I am having continuing problems with my phone stopping recording on me, and I do apologize. Oh, man. It is messed up about 15 videos now. And I wonder where that water's coming from. Maybe there is a... I'm wondering if this is a two-layered tank in here or not. Those little drops are still coming out. And I set this thing on a heater and dried it out pretty good, but I'm still seeing some water. All right, well, we got this rim kind of bent back at. Was hit pretty hard. Now, I want to get in there and clean the inside of that. It's kind of a bummer because I have tools coming from Amazon in the mail. But it could be another week before they get here, which is, it's these broom bits, the longer ones, for getting into stuff like this. All right, so I'm gonna get down here and clean all this around, and then we'll try to solder that back up in place and make that all good again. All right, let's do it. Okay, so we'll turn that on. So maybe I will want to clean this little area up too, so maybe we can solder this up because it's right where it needs to be. So let me clean this spot up. Okay, now I need to reposition things here because this is kind of like micro work. Let me see. All right, so we need to isolate this baby. Well, you probably missed a whole bunch of that. Again, and I do apologize. My God. Yeah, this is an ongoing problem, and I even went and got another phone, and the new phone does the same thing. So that tells me it's a software problem. All right. Now, where we're going to do this thing. I don't even know if you can see what I'm looking at here, but we're going to have to do it this way for a second until I can get past these two major problems, and then we'll get you a better angle as we continue doing things here. All right, that is nicely anchored now. I don't see any other things that need soldering at the moment. Let's look it over. Okay, that seems to be the only lock. Okay, I see how it works. That lifts it up. Okay, a little grabby thing. So I'm looking here. Interesting. So like you have these little lenses here that are on tracks, but mathematically can't get that out of there, can you? Now with that lip there, I'm confused. Maybe they're just stationary when during you know, manufacturing. Maybe they just had a list of what color lenses or something, or maybe they just, hey man, I don't know. Interesting stuff. All right, I'm gonna go get I'm gonna put a little bit of work in on the bench grind of this, and I think that's gonna do it for the evening for tonight. I'm gonna go mourn the Bills' loss there. The football game was a bummer, man. Okay, well, I need to find out what the deal is on them little lenses. I mean, if I got it, yeah, if I got them loose, big deal, because I can't get them out, I don't think. Mathematically, I don't think those will come out of there, especially from behind these air tubes. I guess they're meant to stay there. Well, okay. Oh, well. All right. No problem. Okay, let's go get this baby on the bench grind and get some big lumps off here. And, oh yeah, let me turn all this stuff, get all this shit out of the way. And I'll be right back. Yeah, so casualty. Man, I don't know when or how, but I busted off one of the freaking crown tabs. My freaking God. I mean, I was being so careful. By the way, I got that little hunk of wire off. That was around the air tube. Man, I was being so careful, too. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how. Son of a bitch. So far, there's 3 that are good. But I may have to chop all these down. That's what I'm thinking now has happened, is that somebody else busted off a tab, and they've been slowly whittling down the posts. That came to me when I was staring at it. Like, how do I make a new one? Oh, well, yeah, okay. Well, this might be all right with 3 of them because it doesn't have a pull ring on top. And I see somebody interesting. like they tried soldering it down. They probably tried soldering it down and then realized they need airflow. I don't know what they were doing there with that solder. Weird. All right, so since I already have pointy bit on here, I'm going to play with that for a minute. This is incredibly awkward, this lantern. It's ridiculous because there's so many angles and things hanging off it and everything. I can't get it to sit anywhere where I'm not worried about hurting a part, because that's what happened there. All these freaking parts. Oh, man. Well, it's looking nice, though. Looking nice. Let's go to a junk bit first before I use the pointy bit. Got a junk bit with a lot of meat left on it here. This has not been used much. So, all right. Let's do some junk bit action on this thing. And see what we're doing. Yeah, my headlamps are already going dead on me. Man, oh man. I need more light. Santa, bring me more light. Aziz, light! Well, wow, things are shaping up. I mean, look at this. Look at. I mean, this is a freaking Swiss Army knife. Holy smokes! Look, I mean, all the angles and crap hanging off it. Oh man, so complicated. So many parts for manufacturing too. This must have been quite a. This was like, you know, a Bose sound system or something for your buggy. Crazy, man. Okay, well, let me take a 400 grit to the, oh, this one's nicely worn, so I'm going to go on the inside here. There's just some artifacts that have just been kind of lingering inside here on the walls inside, so I'm going to take this 800 grit in here and try to smooth things out on the inside. All right, okay, now let's do a little pointy bit work. And Yeah, this thing's shaping up really nice. Gonna have to treat the tank now that I think about it. I do have some seal all, so we'll do that up at some point. Because I would love to fire this up at the end of the video for sure. For sure. Okay, so pointy bit. We'll get a little in there. We'll get around in there. This thing's got so many little corners and stuff. That is insane. Wow. That's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing, the complexness of this thing. All right. Now, again, I got to be careful of all these edges. I'm worried about, these edges, this little thing. Of course, these tabs, which I've already made a problem out of. Everything, everywhere I lean it. But, I mean, this thing's built so tough. But, yeah, I feel like it's, made of glass right now. So that's how I'm going to treat it. What I'm hoping, I get a little nylon bit on here to get rid of some of them scratches on whoever tried to clean this thing up before they painted it. It's like they scraped it with a butter knife. A lot of them are gone now. They're better. They're better, but they're still there. I'm looking for, this is a CT ham, so I'm looking for, the patent dates and stuff. I don't see them anywhere. Isn't that weird? Yeah, I haven't seen them anywhere. I don't think it's buried under all that mess. Maybe it was right there. I don't see it though. Okay, 20-bit action. Let's get to it. Yeah, progress. I think I got all the nastiness off it. All the remnants of paint in the corners. Ham radio going in the background, guys, by the way. It's shortwave radio listening to ham radio. Sorry about that. But it brings me pleasure to listen to it while I work. Okay. Let's do some nylon bit. We'll get a fresh 800. Put that on there. And I think that'll help get rid of a lot of these superficial scratches from previous owners. I mean, there'll be plenty remaining, and that'll give it character and everything. But, all right. So let's get things a little more down to where we want them. We got to treat this. Got to remember. All right. All right, I'm gonna get these little globs of solder off of here. Get my little solder rag. Not sure what that was all about, but we'll get those off of there. Okay, now I think we can throw some steel wool on this thing. And I want to get it fully assembled before I treat the tank. Oh, that'll be... All right, let's do some steel wool and see how things progress here. I'm excited to see this thing fired up. I love those little freaking, those little red windows. It just reminds me of a very small, very old church that had very small lead glass windows. All right, so let's do a little slow assembly here, and see how things look. Right now, put this beautiful reflector back in there. Let's see. Oh, I got lucky. It lined up pretty nice there. Yeah, let me clean that up a little. Nice. Okay, that's better. Got it. That was a little tricky. All right, reflector. Get back in there, looking good. Yeah. All right. Let's see how this is looking here. We got 3 tabs to work with here. I think we'll be all right. There's 1 and there's 2. There's 3. All right. Good. That should That should be plenty. Nice. Look at that. All right, we're on, and we are solid. Excellent. Things are coming together here. Okay, I'm gonna wait until we put these back on because I don't want any grime in there. Do not like the grimeage. Okay, well, let's see. Let's take a look at this. Okay. Wonderful. Looking good there. There we go. I have a very, very, very old shortwave radio I listen to, and it drifts. So I tune in somebody, and I take my hands away, and I do something here, and it drifts off frequency and makes it sound funny. So that's why you were hearing weird shit there. But with my hands full, I can't be over there adjusting that knob every 5 seconds. All right. So let's see which way. All right. So the question is, I wonder if it matters. Okay. Boom. That's interesting. I mean, we're on. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, it's supposed to be a little bit of a lock here to hold this up in. That little piece is busted off, but it looks like we're good. How the hell do you get the... I guess you got to take the fountain off to fill it. That's weird. Okay, I can see the wick there. Excellent. Is this the right burner for this? I don't even know. All right, well, maybe we should do some treating. Let me wash this. Let me get rid of all this fuzz from the steel wool. All right, so let's clean up the crap here. There. Can't wait to see what this looks like oiled up. I can't wait to light it. So I think we're going to treat the tank here real soon so I can come back later today and fire it up with you guys. I'm excited for that. I want to see this baby work. Okay. Let's oil these things up, man. Let's treat them, protect them. Parts. Nice. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, somebody bent this all up because they couldn't figure out how to deal with that when that solder came off of that. They were having trouble, obviously, getting this part out. So they were banging this down in. Because you can see, so there's like this little curve here where it goes into place. They were having trouble getting it out from underneath here, so they banged this down to kind of extend out this little curve there. Yeah, see that? So they banged down both of these. Made a mess too, man, doing it. Wondering why it's not going flush in there. Yep. This thing's 125 years old. What do you want? Right? Okay. Let's oil this stuff up. I got a nice fresh brush. I know it's really rare to, to find photographs of, like some of these kind of lamps or any old lanterns, in the wild, just photographs, really old photographs of seeing something like this on a car and, or on a buggy or whatever it was, and doing its thing. Luckily, with AI, now you can make photographs. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think AI would know what to do. All right. Let's do it. Yeah, nice dark color. It's going to look real nice. Like I said, once we're done with this oil in here, we will throw some seal oil in this fountain. And fire this thing up. You don't want to oil up stuff like this. You don't want to oil up, threads or nuts and bolts, because this shit's not a lubricant. It is not a lubricant. And it'll cake up in there. And it'll suck. It won't make it inoperable unless you completely, you can see the way this stuff gets all gummy if you leave too much of it on. That's why we wipe it off at the end, so this doesn't happen. But it's not a lubricant, so don't put it where you think oils should go, threads and things like that. So don't do it. Don't do it. That's just my opinion, but a recommendation. All right. You can do whatever you want with your lantern, but we're just here to show you how I do things. Well, we got a little situation here. I totally thought I had a whole other tube of seal all. Son of a gun. Well, I'm taking this off. So what we're going to do is thin out the remaining seal all with a little bit of acetone. So, and the reason I have this ladle here, of course, me being a chef, I got ladles and crap around. So acetone, I have these little plastic cups, little 2-ounce souffle cups, and the acetone will just melt right through it, and will just turn to water. So I need metal, and I didn't feel like searching around for like an old shot glass or something. So what I'm going to do is put all the remaining seal all here in this ladle, and this is what I'm going to mix some acetone in it. Acetone just thins it out. I mean, that's what acetone is, really. It's paint thinner. So we're going to stretch it a little bit, because I can see that there's just one little tiny pinhole. There might be a little bit of weeping going on along that solder line. Let's see, where's that here? Getting the last of the toothpaste out. Seal all is good stuff, man. It's, it's a good tank sealer, adhesive. I've used it for a number of applications, and that's apparently why I ran out. I totally thought I had another tube of it. All right, so we're gonna thin this out ever so slightly. Oh man, I made a mess. Got it all over my cutting board. It's okay. There's lots of solvents in that cutting board that need removing anyway. Okay, good. We're nicely thinned out. That should be enough. Yeah, I think we should be all right. This is a small fount. I just want to get out to the edges, roll it around a bit. Nice. All right. Let's do this precisely so we don't get all over crap. Oh yeah, that should be plenty. And seal all's cheap. That tube was like $5.80. So you don't have to feel like you're skimping on it when you put it in. So if you're gonna seal a tank with it, put more than you expected, more than you think in there. Why not? It's cheap. One more little drop. Okay, I'm gonna have to clean that out real quick before that. All right. So by mixing it, I did put some air bubbles in it, and that's fine because those air bubbles are my little indicator that we're moving things around here, because I can see the bubbles moving. So what I'm doing is bringing it out to the edges and rolling it around. Usually when I do this in larger batches, and acetone has a way of there we go. Oh shit. Acetone gets very cold because it evaporates so quickly. It's very cold. I'm just making sure I'm getting the last bit out of my ladle here, because this is my ladle. All right. Ladle is clean. There. Okay, so we'll let that do its thing. I'll go put that in a warm spot. Give it a good 6-8 hours to set. All right, so let's get our stuff back together here. Man, what a big heavy duty clamp. You just think about the canopy on a very early car or your buggy, your horse and buggy. You got your canopy and you got your post on your side of your canopy and you just put this baby right on there. How cool is that? Love it. All right. Let's clean up our cotter pin a little bit. All right. Nice. Click. Man, look at this thing coming together. What a beaut. I can't wait to fire this thing up. Well, look at how we're looking here. All right, so I think what we're going to do, we're going to take a little break. Let the seal all seal. I'll put it in a warm spot, and that'll also help it migrate around a little bit more. And I can feel the coolness of it in there. This thing's so cool, I can feel it. Okay, so when we come back, we will put some fuel in there, see if it holds, and if it does, we are going to light her up. I can't wait. And it'll be dark, so we'll go have some fun with it. All right, be back in a second. Right, okay, so this has been sitting for hours and hours. Okay, I think we are sealed up. Throw some fluid in there and try it out. Let's see what happens here. Let's try it with a little first. Nice. Dry. Okay, so let me see how much that gave me. Okay, good. More than enough to get the wick down in there and wicking. Right, let's do this. Now I forget, which way did we have this going? Click. Okay. So peculiar the way this goes on there because you can't put fluid in it with the fount on it. There we go. Okay, so we're going to give this a little time to let that wick up some kerosene. I got an eye on it there. Okay, so I'm going to leave that to do some wicking. That could take a few minutes. Trying to figure out what's making it do that, and I think I know. I think it's those tabs that hold down. I think it's these things. Or it's that. All right, let me see here. I'm taking these little dents out. These dents, which I assume were put there to hold that thing in. So there's a little groove up inside of here. It comes down sharply, and I could see there's a couple of nicks where it's been hitting on something. I'll bet you this little lip is supposed to go there, or those little dents were. I thought those dents were intentional to hold that thing down, but maybe not. Alright, looks like we have them out enough. Let's try this again. That'd be awesome if I just found the problem. Yeah. Oh, that's not it. I still think that's the problem, though. But there's just no way. There's no way of telling. We want to make sure that we get. Okay, good. We got kerosene going up in. Actually, what I can do. It is those freaking things. It is these things. Okay, well. I'm guessing the one that I soldered back in maybe wasn't put back in deep enough. Okay, so let's continue to Alright, looks like we have kerosene to the wick. Now, we're going to test this baby out. Yeah, I think that's what the problem is those little tabs need to be down a little bit lower, but I don't know how the heck you're going to get that part in, get the burner in there if they were any lower. I don't know. I think that's a problem. All right. Well, what do you want, right? 125 years old? Okay, let's turn some lightage off. We're going to light this candle. Click, click, click. You ready, folks? Match fail. Attempt 1. An interesting flame. All right, we are on, man. We are lit. Look at that cool little thing. That's pretty neat, man. All right, let's let this thing heat up a little bit, get some air flowing here. Let this moisture burn off inside. Let it warm up a bit. Interesting how the flame changes when I close that door. Pretty neat. Yeah. All right. Look at that. Wow, that's got some serious light, man. Look at that. Yeah, there we have it, folks. Look at that. And I'm loving these little side windows. Very cool. Well, folks, that's going to do it, man. It's a mission complete. Crazy, crazy. All right, so here we have CT Ham number 18 driving lamp. Look at that freaking RoboCop. Look at that thing, man. Isn't that crazy? Freaking steampunk RoboCop kind of thing. That's cool. And I think that really the only thing to keep this from being perfect is those little tabs down there on top of the fount. That's what I think's hitting. Project for another time. We're done here. Folks, this was great. I don't know why I put this off so long. I guess I kind of, one of those save the best for last kind of things. And I just kept saving it and saving it and saving it. All right, here we go. Folks, thank you so much for stopping by the lab again. And as usual, don't you go changing.
We'll be back with the Magic Tunes for the Armada Room's 2-hour disco swing party after this short break. Till then, don't you go changing.
Ubu, sit. Good dog.